we are going to discuss legato. I've gotten a ton of Facebook messages and even a couple emails. I don't know how people got my email address, but you guys have been asking me about how to do legato or how to perform legato effectively. I wouldn't say my strongest skill is legato, but I can tell you things that work for me and hopefully they'll work for you too. Side note to this, there is an excellent legato deep dive by John Petrucci. If you just YouTube John Petrucci legato, you'll probably find it, and I would highly recommend that if you really want to go deep into the technical side of legato. But I'm basically just going to show you a few licks and give you a couple pointers. So before you even try a legato lick, you need to build up your finger strength to a point where you can do certain exercises for a minute straight without your hand getting tired. It's that type of strength and endurance that allows you to be able to execute runs that last more than a few strings or a few notes. So here's one of the best exercises to build your finger strength in the way that I'm talking about. Warning, it's a little boring. You're gonna take your first finger and hammer on with your second finger up to the first and second fret. Then you're gonna do the same thing with your ring finger, up 1, 2, 3 frets, and then the same thing with your pinky, up 1, 2, 3, 4 frets. So here's what that looks like. With any pattern you want to. For the purposes of this vlog, I'm not gonna do a minute for each finger. I was kind of just going in random order there. You wanna be consistent though. So 1 minute of this. On all fingers. That's where I would start, and you can change strings, do it in different areas of the fretboard, but generally you want to stay down in this area where there's a good length to make your fingers stretch out. Here's another exercise that'll build your finger strength, and it also does not sound very good. So all that is whole steps. Again, you're gonna wanna do that for as long as your hand can take it. And here's a great stretch. Oh, dropped my pick. I hope that doesn't disappear. Here's a great stretch you can do. Really feels good on your wrist. Just pull it back like that until you feel that nice stretch. And you can kind of give yourself a little hand massage, rubbing that meaty part of your palm, and shake it out, and then get back to it. Okay, I seriously did lose that pick. What the heck is going on? Got it. So here's a more musical sounding exercise that I lifted from John Petrucci. There's a million different variations of this, but this is the one that I tend to use in my own playing on a consistent basis. The reason I like this one as an exercise is because it really works that pinky and ring finger combination, which I think is the hardest one to master between the different finger sets. So start slow, that is the key here. You're gonna feel tension as you try to go longer and longer, but the key is to start slow, start comfortable, and slowly speed it up. You'll notice that I only pick the first note, everything else is legato. This is important because the whole point of legato is to not use your pick. So you want to refrain from picking the note. It's gonna be tempting, but only start with the first downstroke to get the exercise started, and then stick to legato from there. Another thing about legato is your right hand needs to be constantly monitoring these strings, because the moment you take your hand off the strings, you get that noise. So to avoid that string noise, your hand wants to rest right on here with the flesh, using kind of a tandem combination, your fingers and flesh of your palm, muting these strings so only these legato notes sound out. So another great way to tackle legato, if this is something new to you, is to just stick to one string, because the technique is highly dependent on you being strong with hammer-ons and pull-offs. So what better way to get better at that than to do some really fun legato style licks on the E string. So obviously a lot of the improvising comes from knowing your major scale modes, ideally 3 notes per string. Now there's a couple ways to approach this. If you want to learn the best way to tackle the major scale modes, you should check out Guitar Super System. It is a course that I teach, and there is a link in the description to purchase that. And I would say start with the major scale modes, 3 notes per string, 2 octaves. That will really help you build your legato skill, because you'll really be learning 2 things at once, your legato and your 3 note per string major scale modes, which are both covered in Guitar Super System. I would say my favorite mode to do legato stuff in, or where I find myself tending to do a lot of legato, is in the Lydian mode. It looks really flashy, but it's just the Lydian mode, 3 notes per string. So like I said, I'm no Joe Satriani, but I can do a couple legato tricks, and now I've given those tricks to you. So I hope this was helpful for you guys who have been asking about legato. Let me know in the comments if anything is unclear to you, or if you want me to do a kind of follow-up only licks version of this video. I think the exercises that I gave to you are really important to practice every day. And like I said, see how long you can do them consistently with the notes clean before your hand gets tired. And you'll notice if you do this every day for just a few minutes, by the next week or the next 2 weeks, you'll be able to do it for twice as long, 5 times as long. And it's really cool because it's a skill you can build up very quickly as long as you do it every day. That's it. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, and I will talk to you tomorrow.